We live and
That's legendary.
Yeah.
And,
Y'all actually won an award, the Boss Mag 2009 Ohio Hip Hop Award. Y'all won for that media outlet thing.
man, I don't even know. Yeah.
Like y'all won. He didn't even know he won it.
What'd you say? Who was it?
You won the Boss Magazine 2009 Ohio Hip Hop Award. Congratulations.
That's legendary.
you good?
Hey, what's good, y'all? It's your boy Peanut, aka Dash Resource. What's good, my man Stack?
Smedro Commando in the building, man. What's going on? Welcome to the Legendary People Podcast, bro. Make sure that you go to our YouTube channel. If you're watching on Facebook, go to our YouTube channel, like, subscribe, and ring the bell notifications so you can get alerted every time we drop a new video.
Yeah.
We drop videos damn near every night.
Man, we did 2 of them today, man. Quit playing with me.
Monday through Thursday for sure at 8 p.m. We always bring people on, and we want to shout out our sponsors. Sheik's for breakfast. Sheik's breakfast. They got the best breakfast in the city. Get you some good old French toast, turkey bacon, scrambled eggs with cheese. They put the strawberries on your plate and all that, man. And yeah, it's very, very good. So Sheik's for breakfast, and then go to Agnes All Natural Grill. Mm-hmm. For lunch, they are on 3rd and Wayne. Good jerk chicken.
Keep following it.
And they put rice and cabbage in your bowl, cocoa bread, and some brown sugar lemonade. So that's Agnes. And if you ever get injured at any time, you want to go to the hospital first and then call attorney Michael Wright at 937-222-7477. And last but not least, our sponsor, Kiara Wine.
It's so good we ain't even got it in the building today, man.
We really had Kiara Wine last night, bro. We tasted it and it was amazing, bro.
Amazing.
You can contact my bro, Antoine Cunningham. Everybody else know him as Big. We focus big, do it big for the kids. He got Kiara Wine, so you can get in his inbox and then find out exactly how to get it. We here broadcasting live at T-Shirt Kings, 247.com, T-Shirt Kings, and gold for your mouth. And without further ado, let's get on to the legend. And this is my bro in this mug today. You feel me? He here because of me, bro. Peanut didn't have nothing to do with this, bro. He here because I called him. Let's go, Peanut. It's on you, bro.
Wait, that's the legendary intro, y'all. Let's give it up for Smith.
Yeah, thank you, bro.
Yo, when I say that we have so many legendary people on this podcast, like this literally is the reason why we bring these people here, man. And I'll tell you, there's not a more secret legend we've ever had here before.
Yeah.
Respectfully, man, my man, Coach Hoskins, man. How are you, man?
Oh man, I'm great.
Coach.
Man. I'm fantastic. I've arrived, man. I made it.
Yes, sir, man.
So here on the Legendary People Podcast, we had this thing called Origins. We like to find out where our legends come from. So without further ado, where'd you grow up?
Oh, I'm born and bred, Dayton View, baby.
Oh,
Yes,
Dayton
sir.
View.
Born and bred, man. Princeton Park. Princeton Park, all day.
So, like, what was it like growing up there?
You know what, man? I had a great childhood experience, man.
Yeah.
You know, the park had a lot to do with, instilling some of the core values that I live by today. That's where I developed my toughness. That's where I developed, the resilience that I have. Just a ton of life lessons went on there, man. And, it was just like any other kid, man. Sun up to sun down,
Absolutely.
Ain't no running in the house to get into that air conditioning, right? You better stay out soon,
Right.
all day long. And so I'm always rep, Princeton Park and Dayton, Ohio, always.
Yeah. So I grew up in Westwood, so like we have our second round, which is Westwood or Roosevelt, right? What was the park like for you?
Ah, man, the park was the place where, education happened, for me, as I look back, as an adult now, man, I learned so many life lessons just by being there, both negative and positive. For me, I was one of the rarities in my neighborhood.
What do you mean by that?
What I mean by that is I grew up in a 2-parent household,
Okay.
right? Which was very uncharacteristic of the neighborhood that I grew up in. There's a lot of single family
The
households.
70s, right? We're talking 70s.
Yeah, 70s, 80s, right? And so like everybody in our neighborhood thought I was so lucky, you know, like that I had both parents in the household. And at the time, it was just like a normal thing for me. But as I looked and I look back and I see how many, you know, of my cats that grew up in the neighborhood that my father fathered, you know, it gave me a tremendous amount of respect, even more so than I already had for my dad.
Right.
As I look back and I say, dang, man, you know, look how impactful this dude was by just being there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
He was that sounding resource.
Block dad.
For sure, for sure. But at the time, that didn't really resonate with me.
Right.
But like for all my boys, they was like, yeah, like that's Pops. You know what I mean? He's the one that gave us the game, you know, gave us some guidance, you know, kept us out of trouble.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You cuss him.
Yeah. I just,
Yeah,
you know, it was the
yeah.
things I took for granted, you know, because I'm living under the roof every day. But as I take a look back, I said, man, that's dope. You know what I mean? That he was able to do that.
Right.
You know, and some of my boys now today say, man, if it wasn't for Pops, man, I don't know where I'd be. You know what I mean?
Look, I'll tell you about this. I know it's your first time doing this, but man, you too good at this, right? Because the next question is, who are your childhood friends?
Oh man! So my best friend is Carlos Knox. I think.
Okay.
Carlos Knox.
T.J. Martin. But on my block, man, my block, I'd be willing to bet that on my block, we could take on any basketball team statewide and we'll win.
Wow.
Next
Wow.
door to me was Ivan Patterson.
Oh, wow.
4 doors down from me was Kelly Suber.
What?
At the end of my block was Ricardo Hamilton, and 4 doors down from him was Javon Scales. My block was crazy. Tobet Pleasant lived across the street four doors down. So my street was full of hoopers.
What did that park life look like when y'all went to go play
Oh, it was
basketball?
ugly, bro. It was ugly. That's where I learned everything. And it was there I developed that grit, that toughness, because I was always playing with older guys.
Yeah, you was a few years younger.
Yeah, I was
than
younger than
Marco.
all of them, and so, but I, you know, I desired to play. You know what I'm saying? And any way I could get on the court with them, I was willing to do it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And until I became, you know, worthy of them looking at me as an equal.
Right.
Right.
Coach,
That's what
let
kept me
holler at
striving.
you, bro. So
Yeah.
wait a minute, bro. Hoggy, bro, is a legend.
Absolutely.
Next door neighbor, bruh. We stayed up. This is a true story, fella.
Uh-oh.
We stayed up to 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, bruh, dribbling the ball in our boulevard just to see who had the best moves and stuff, right? Trying to
Yeah.
take the ball from each other. We lived next door to each other, bruh, so that was an everyday occurrence.
Wow.
I was supposed to go to Colonel White. That was my home school. I mean, you know, everybody from the neighborhood went there.
Yeah.
Right? I was a pretty good junior high school player. I went around and visited every single day in public city school.
Yeah.
Right.
The reason I never went, fellas, was because everybody at the time told me and sold me the same dream, right? They told me what they could do for me basketball-wise, right? My parents, who weren't college educated, but were educated enough to know that that wasn't enough.
Right.
You know what I mean? And when I went down to Chaminade, they did everything but talk about what they could do for me athletically.
Huh.
I mean, they talked about my leadership, my servant role, community service related stuff, how I was going to be able to immerse myself and diversify, right? All the things that actually matter as an adult,
Right.
right? That's what sold me on that opportunity. I was like any other, I wanted to go to school with y'all.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, Lowe's teacher, these are my dudes, man. I mean, 30, 40 years strong. These are my guys, right?
Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Had you went to Meadowdale, or had you went to Colonel White,
Oh my God.
what would those teams would have looked like with either you and Remy in the backcourt at Colonel White,
Oh my God.
or you and Carlos
Oh my
in
God.
the
man.
backcourt at
We
at
talk about it all the
Meadowdale,
time,
bro?
man. It would have been damn near unfair. You know what I mean? It would damn near been. You know how when we was young, it's like, man, that's the comp. right?
Yeah,
Right.
We
That's
talking-
what that would have been, bro.
Bro,
We talking Miami Heat with LeBron and
for sure.
D Wade, or damn it, Brooklyn right now with Kyrie
No
and James
question,
Harden,
bro. No questions, man. It's interesting that you brought that up, man, because we sit back and we talk about that now that we're adults and say, man, you know, the woulda, coulda, shouldas, right?
Yeah.
And you know, either situation,
Either one.
it wouldn't even matter.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know, I go to either one of them schools, man. You talking about probably multiple state
Yeah, y'all
championships.
hanging banners.
For sure.
Wow.
No question.
So, before we got there, what elementary and middle school did you go to?
I went to several, actually, man. I wasn't the greatest kid coming up, man. I mean, I like to really use
Let's
my
start
hand.
there.
I like to use my hands a lot, man.
A lot of Princeton Park in me.
Yeah, a lot of Princeton Park in me, man. You know what I'm saying? So unfortunately, but it's a part of my process, man. You know what I mean? God wasn't done with me. So, you know, I went to Jefferson. I went to McNary. I went to a bunch of the, you know, name public schools until I figured out that, you know, you got to keep your hands on.
We talking
people,
about
bro.
Jefferson on Cambridge.
Yeah, Jefferson.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
Jefferson Township.
Nah,
Jefferson in the
yeah,
village.
in the hood,
Yeah.
baby. Debut Jefferson,
had to
baby.
clarify that
Respectfully,
real
yeah,
quick.
That's a good clarification,
That's
man.
a good catch.
Yeah. But once I got kicked out of a couple of those, right? Because it was just like, hey, man, you're a little too aggressive, man. You know what I mean? You like, you got to keep your hands to yourself, bro.
Right.
And fortunately for me, man, I was blessed to be able to get into Catholic school, man.
Okay.
I went to Dayton Catholic Elementary, and that's where things changed for me. You know, I didn't have to use my hands as much. I started to really, my third grade teacher, man, he was the difference for
What
me.
was his name? You remember?
Mr. C, Mr. Cullinan, man.
Mr. Cullinan.
And
Shout out to Mr. Cullinan.
yeah, shout out to Mr. Cullinan. Mr. C live out in Kansas now, but you know, he was the one that was able to get me to realize the real true talent and gift that I possessed, which was to be a leader of people. And he got me to understand that at a young age, that I could use my level of influence in a positive way, right? And turn it away from the negative. And ever since then, he gave me a book that I'll never forget, man. When bad things happen to good people.
Yeah.
And I read that as a third grader. It was way above, you know, my reading level, but I took it and I absorbed it. And I knew then the light bulb turned on, like, you know what? I'm a little different.
Yeah.
And I can be a little different.
Right.
And it's okay to be that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't think that gets celebrated enough from where we come from, that, you know, being smart is a cool thing.
Absolutely.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to make that the new cool, man.
Exactly.
That's all right. So
Absolutely.
it was there that I kind of became an accelerated individual in that way.
Okay, so I'll ask you a question. So, going from, you know, like public school to you know, like Christian school, or you want to
Catholic
call
school,
it,
yeah.
Catholic school. What was that transition like for you? Because I mean, was your parents heavy religious, or was it an easy transition?
No, you know what? And that's one thing that I give shout out and kudos to the Catholic school. They took me as I was. I was rough around the edges, and you know, they didn't condemn me because of it. They let me learn, and they let me still be me, while absorbing me into their culture. This is the way we do things. We're a little more structured. There's going to be a lot more discipline. You're going to have a lot more guidance and a lot more accountability. And for a guy like me, it was tailor-made for me. That's all I needed. I didn't have that where I came from. You know what I mean? And so I was like a sponge when I got there. I'm like, oh, man, this is different.
Yeah.
Okay, this is all right. It's the first time that I had interacted with white kids in school.
Yeah.
Right? That was a little different for me. I had never seen them before, right? And so it was then the light bulb clicked on, like, oh, this does exist. You know, there's a whole different world out here that I ain't even been exposed to.
So even though you did go to different schools,
Yeah.
you had still lived in the same house.
Same hood, baby.
Same house,
Yeah,
but
same hood.
just kind of went to different schools until you found the one. So you actually are getting your street knowledge and your street credibility by just living in the neighborhood, bro. And to recap, bro, you went to all of these basketball geniuses. We talking about real state champions.
Big dog.
Oh, yeah.
Literally state champions.
Yeah, for sure.
That you are interacting with and building with and learning from as their little brother every day. They like roughing you up but making you tough.
No
and
question.
you getting the skill because you emulating Hoggy.
Yes. It didn't get no better than that, did it, Smith?
Bro, there is absolutely no better guard to me.
No.
Man, for me,
Put them all in the pot.
Put them all in the pot. Give me Hog, bro.
Give me Hog.
We building a draft.
He
we
gonna win.
drafting. Come on.
He gonna
I
win.
got him.
Yeah, no question. He's gonna win, man.
He a real dog.
Yeah.
And this is how you getting shaped on the basketball side.
Still sharp and still.
Yeah.
And then you get an opportunity to do a little bit of separation, and when it comes time to getting your mind right, you over here getting this
That level of diversity.
getting this education and foundation that's gonna get you to where you're trying to go to.
You know what, man? It's funny that you hit on that, Smith, because my mentor in business is a guy named Clay Mathieu. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him. But Clay Mathieu was the guy who founded the Iams company. Okay, the Iams dog food.
Yeah.
He sold it to Procter & Gamble, about 20 years ago now, for about $2.8 billion. All right?
Wow.
How I got linked up with him.
Stats, man.
Yeah.
That's a stat.
Yeah.
That's
How I
serious.
got linked up with him, his kids went to CJ with me.
Yeah.
Right? And so I was really cool with his daughter. And so that was my first interaction with him, right? And I'll tell you an interesting story. When I decided to go to Wisconsin, right, I went there and like 90% of my team was African American, right? And I always had a dream and a desire to play in the Big Ten. So I went there, my freshman year, sophomore year. Every year I was there, a coach left. One voted for the NBA, second one got fired, right? Third one, styles just contrasted, right? So I decided to transfer back home.
Yeah.
This is a dope story, man. Listen to this crap. So I called my high school coach. I said, hey, coach, I'm thinking about transferring.
Is it 96?
This was like, back in 96. I said, coach, I'm thinking about transferring. He's like, that's cool, man. He's like, where you want to go? I said, well, I like to get closer to home so my people can see me play. He said, all right, I'm going to reach out to the universities that, offered you, in a close proximity. So he reached out, back out to UC, Xavier, Dayton, Wright State, Miami, all the locals.
After doing 3 years there already.
Yeah, after doing 3. All of them said, yeah, we can get him? Yeah, tell him, come on, right? So he said, hey, man, I'm going to get somebody to call you tomorrow if you don't mind. I'm like, all right, cool. He's like, don't worry about it. Just answer the phone. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I get a phone call. It's Clay Mathieu. I'm like, all right, hey, Clay, how you doing, man? Long time, blah, 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 blah. He said, hey, Darnell, how you doing? He said, hey, Coach, is it true? Coach said that, you was thinking about transferring back close to home? I said, yeah, man. And he said, well, I'll tell you what. He said, if you make the decision to come back to UD, I'll make sure that your life after basketball opportunities are endless. I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
Like, that was like, whoa, okay, all right. He said, furthermore, when you're done playing, right, you can come to me and I'll mentor you. This is a billionaire now. Like,
Right.
how you gonna turn that one down,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
So, long story short, I make the trek, I come on back home, go to UD, graduate, get my degree, have an illustrious 9-year pro career, right? So after I'm done, right, he kept on his promise, bruh.
Yeah.
So I said, I go, Clay, I'm done playing now. I'm retired, man. He said, well, good. I'm glad you finally retired. He said, now you can get to business. I said, all right. He said, hey, man, let me sit down and tell you something, man. He said, I ain't never told you this before, but I think the conversation is warranted now. He goes, you have the ability to be better than me. I go, I laugh because I'm like, dude, you're a billionaire. What are you talking about, man? You know what I mean? This is as candid as the conversations we having. He goes, Darnell, he says, I can go to my community and they'll recognize me as a symbol of success and they'll be more apt to listen to me, right? Conversely, I can't come to your community and do the same because they're going to see me as an old white stuffed suit who has no idea about their plight.
Right.
And they're not going to be able to listen because it seems out of touch for them. He said, would you agree with that or not? I said, you're probably right. Only thing they will respect is that you got that bread.
Right.
Right? He said, conversely, here's why I say you can be better than me. He says, you can go in your neighborhood and your credibility is going to be through the roof because they're going to see you as one of them
Right.
that has made it out of here.
Absolutely.
Right? He said, this is where the rubber meets the road. you can also come into my community, and because of who you are and what you've been able to accomplish, they're also going to listen to you. So in a lot of ways, you're a chameleon, right?
You're valuable both places rather than just being one.
Yeah.
There you go. So that was the first time that I got that recognition. I was like,
Yeah.
damn, that's powerful. I can do it on the block, and I can do it in the boardroom.
Right.
Thus, the name of my book is From the Block to the Boardroom.
Man, listen, you are legendary.
That's a bar.
That's a bar. But I've never let nobody go that far running in their story without before, because I wanted to go through the whole maturation process of when you went from high school to college, like the first year of college. But that was an amazing story. But we're gonna jump in the middle there. So,
Wherever you want to go.
So, viewers, if you watching it, remember that part, because we're gonna get a little segue in there. But what was it like going from, like growing up in Princeton, basically, that area, finally, going to Catholic school. Now you have different friends. You're starting to have different experiences. What's it like when you finally transitioned to going to college for the very first time? What was that like for you?
Before we go there, can I get in?
Absolutely, go ahead.
Bro, can we get some of these? Let's hear about some of your dusty bang outs as far as on the hoop court in high school, because how did you get to college?
Dog, that's the easy one, bro. That's the easy one.
What type of player was you?
Yeah.
Well,
what Chaminade recruited you? Were these coming out of middle school? Was you getting recruited by high schools to go there?
Yeah, man. Like everybody felt it was unfair, like unless they got a shot at me.
Yeah.
Right. I had a real illustrious, middle school career, if you could say that, right?
Sure.
And so I literally went and visited every single day in public school, right? Just so everybody felt like they had their just due.
Did you go straight to varsity as a freshman?
Yeah. Yep.
Varsity off the rip.
Straight out, off the rip.
Off the dribble, no pun intended.
Off the rip. Let me tell you a funny story, bro. So like, because coach wanted me to earn everything, right?
Yeah.
And didn't want it to seem like to my peer group, the other fellow freshmen, that I was just giving stuff. Like, you know what I mean? He made me go through like every level, right? So what's funny was when I first started, like I skipped freshman, right? Because they was just like, this is way too unfair.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But he made me go to practice with the JV. The JV practice at 5:30 in the morning, bro. Yeah. So Pops was like, yo, man, I'm not getting up that early, bro, to take you down there, man. Dude got me a car, was like, bro, I'm 14. They got me a car, was like, hey, bro, go straight there and come straight home. Every day of my career, this is true story, bro, true story. Every day of my career, I drove, bro.
What?
Straight up. Every day. Principal, everybody knew, bro.
Pops, man.
Man, Pops the GOAT.
True story, bro. True story, man. True story. I drove every day of my career, bro. Never missed a day of driving back and forth to school. But to answer your questions, man, where I developed that, man, was from here, man. I mentioned early on that my best friend was Carlos Knox.
Yeah.
I was blessed and fortunate that Princeton Park was there. Yeah. But again, shout out to Pops who made the sacrifice. He put a court in my backyard on Vernon Drive.
Wow.
So me, Hoggy, Scales, Los, all of us is back there banging. Like this is like okay, well then let's fight then.
Yeah.
Because that's how deep this is.
Yeah.
Right? This is my best friend. Like my dad used to have to come out there like, stop, bro.
Right.
Just stop.
Right.
Stop. Y'all going at it way too. Now we
getting it in.
Bruh.
Yeah.
We the tightest of tight.
Yeah.
You ask him, he'll give you the same story. I'm talking about, but it's like we didn't even know each other, bro, when we was back there.
Yeah.
That's where I developed that toughness, that grit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so did he, because we wasn't giving each other an inch.
Right.
And we the best of friends.
Yeah.
Same way with Hog. He was a little bit older, so he was teaching me tricks, and he was a little bit stronger. So I was getting more advanced by just playing against him.
Outside of middle school ball, were y'all both playing with the Mohawks?
Oh, for sure.
So
who didn't come up in that?
Coach Pierce.
Yeah.
I mean,
oh man, you know what, man? That dude,
flowers, bro.
that dude needs his flowers, bro.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The sacrifice that, and his commitment level. I can't even think of a real hooper that didn't come through the Mohawks program.
Right.
Like when we was young, like that's the deal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you had the Salvation Army, you had Parkside, but bruh, if you was anybody, you played at the Mohawks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
and so,
before we skip over it, like what's some of the major things that y'all did that you remember while playing for the Mohawks?
You know, the most glaring memories of is the road trips, man.
Right.
Man, I can remember Milos, TJ. Y'all remember Terrence Merriman?
Yeah, Terrence, that's my bro.
Yeah,
He played
yeah.
for Fairview with
Yeah,
me.
yeah, yeah.
For
So,
sure.
man, we ride, man, down to New Orleans in the van to play in the national tournament, man.
Yeah.
And just them moments, man. It's all of us, like 15 dudes in a 15 passenger van. Like, we out there straight illegal, bro. I mean, everybody grouped up in there. Man, parents didn't pack the snacks. Because wasn't nobody balling out of control at that point, man.
Right.
Yeah.
It was just about our parents wanting us to get better opportunities. You know what I mean? And sacrificing sometimes the mortgage and some more stuff just so we got it. You know what I mean? But we came up, man. I was like any other kid, man. We came up playing all the stuff, man. Meadowdale Pee Wee,
Yeah.
Mohawks. Then we
Yeah.
went to First Date, and we all played
Date.
everything
Yeah.
together, bro.
Yeah.
Like we literally came up playing everything together.
Yeah,
and that was the
man.
cool thing at that point.
Absolutely.
Was like, once football was over, then we go into this. Once that was over, we
Yeah.
go into that.
Yeah.
It was just like a natural progression that everybody was a part of. You know, and
Shout
that,
out
and
to
that peer
First
group.
Date, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for
legend,
sure.
legend, man.
Legendary.
No question.
Legendary.
No question.
For sure. So getting to now we back at high school.
Yeah.
Freshman year, you play varsity right off the rip.
Right off the rip, man. I played JV like the first 3 games.
Yeah.
And it was just like, yo, all right.
Move him up.
Yeah.
You give them in the first 3 games.
Yeah,
like,
I was giving them numbers, like major numbers. Like it was almost an insult to me that you had me down here, so I had to
Example,
prove to you, like, bro,
example,
come on, man,
come
like
on.
this, come on, man, like this ain't it. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna destroy these kids, man. You know what I mean?
he called them kids.
Yeah, I'm gonna destroy these kids,
He
man.
was
Just
2 years older and 3 years
Yeah.
older. He's talking about, I'm destroying these
yeah,
kids.
but then when I got to the varsity level, it was the same way. I wanted to let them know that, you know, I'm not in awe of being up here. Like I had been banging with Hog and all of them,
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
since I was a little dude.
Yeah.
So coming up there was nothing new to me. Like
Right.
they was gonna transition me there. If I went to Colonel White, it was immediate that I was gonna play with them,
Right.
Because I had already been playing with them. You know, so the speed of the game, the physicality of the game, things that typically hinder a young player was
Wow.
nothing to me. I was already built and prepared for it through those trials and tribulations up at Princeton Park. It taught me
Wow.
everything that I needed to know.
Yeah,
It gave me that education. You know what I mean?
for sure.
So yeah, I was already ready, man, when I got there. And then, you know, the first couple years I had guards that were really good. Like we went on a state championship team
Yeah.
at CJ. They called us the Pony Express. We didn't have a dude over 6'2", but we went to the state finals. You know what I mean? I played center on that team. It's a little known fact that people don't know.
What?
Yeah, and that's the thing about the sense of entitlement with kids today. Like, you know, my coach told me, he said, yo, man, you real talented. He's like, but we got a lot of guards that's ahead of you. He was like, you want to play? I was like, heck yeah, I want to play. I am going to play. He was like, well, you're going to have to play center. And he thought I was going to, like, bulk at that. I said, all right. I've been banging with Stills.
Yeah.
I've been banging with Ricardo Hamilton. I've been banging with all these. You think that's going to deter me from being? You said I was going to play if I play center, right? Okay, well, you're going to have to guard the 6'5". Okay, bro, you ain't said nothing to me. That's cool, all right? Is that going to get me on the court?
At what point?
Man, but you know what?
I'm
the funny
5'10",
part is he said,
5'11".
all right. He said, all right.
All right, right now.
All right.
Right.
You know, and that's when I fell in love with the weight room. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Because I knew that I was going to be playing against older, bigger, stronger dudes and banging with them down on the box. You know what I mean? And so I fell in love with the weight room to the point, my sophomore year, he was like, that's it, bro. You can't lift no more.
They closed the gym down on you like,
Yeah,
fuck
he's
that.
like,
He's talking about the studio.
he was like, man, listen, man, you can't lift no more. You're getting too big. You don't even look natural as a guard no more. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, all right, well, that's cool. And then that's when I started to transition back, because on one end where it was a size advantage for the other team, on the other end, when my coach was brilliant, you know, strategically, he would put the ball in my hands and let me go at centers. Well, they couldn't
Exactly.
guard me off the dribble because I was a guard.
Facts,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So he was like, what their advantage is on one end is going
Yeah.
to be their disadvantage on the other end.
Yeah.
You the first stretch 5.
Real stretch 5. real stretch 5. Real stretch 5. Not a lot of people know that, though. That state
Wow.
championship team, man, I played center, bro.
Wow.
Wow.
So
I was
y'all
thinking.
won the state championship?
No, we
Coach?
lost by 2
in the finals.
in the finals.
Damn.
Lost by 2 in the finals.
How
man.
was the game, bro? Was it a
It was a back and forth game. They had a big kid inside named Jamie Fike, man, who was 6'8",
Okay.
went to Michigan State, man. Was real good, man. He was
Yeah.
just too big for me, man. He was like 6'8", 230.
Yeah.
I was 5'11", 160.
And the coach still had you playing center
Oh,
against
yeah.
him. That was your
Who
role.
else?
For sure. For sure. It was like, because, like at Chaminade, man, like a lot of those dudes came from feeder schools like St. Albert's and Resurrection.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was really the only, me and Chris McGuire, we was
Yeah.
the only real dudes that like was from the hood.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
for
saying?
sure.
So,
Ball.
yeah. So, none of that really intimidated me at all.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It was just, I just happened to meet up with somebody who
Was a for real center and could play.
could play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for
and
sure.
could take advantage of what he needed to take
Inside
advantage
the
of.
man.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Hide
But it
it,
Man,
still
shout
went
out
to down
Chris
to the
McGuire
wire.
too,
Right.
bro.
Yeah. Shout out to
man.
Mac. See Mac. Yeah, man. So, that right there let me know that at some point my era was gonna come. Soon as Mac and them graduated,
Yeah.
it was over. I went bonkers. So everybody was gonna know who I was and why they made so much hype and hoopla about me coming in. I mean, my junior year when he finally said, "All right, here you go,"
Yeah.
I'm talking about first game, 45. Second game the next night, 43. Next game against Belmont, 54. I'm just going bonkers. Like,
Crazy.
y'all gonna know my name, man, in here. Period.
Damn, coach.
Yeah.
Man,
I
how does
went
it feel
haywire.
to get 50 in a high school game like that?
Crazy,
As a
bro,
sophomore?
'cause
Oh my
it-
God,
you
that
know what?
arena when
That-
we went there stumping and
Man,
that little
listen, bruh.
stadium and-
We in Chaminade. It only hold 1,000.
Right.
Right? Bruh, that's when basketball was real live basketball. Like that
Yeah.
environment,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Stumping
different
in
now,
the
man.
stands
Oh,
and
bro,
all
I'm talking
that.
about it was standing room only in Chaminade. So you got people lined up along the baseline because at the time they had Darnell Hahn, who was
Yeah.
the truth.
Yeah.
Right? He was a senior, I was a junior, and they made this big hoopla, like, you know, both the Darnells going against each other.
Yeah.
My thought process was, you know what? And he had already committed to UD and all that stuff. He was getting
Yeah.
a lot of press.
Notoriety and stuff.
Yeah, I said, yo, I'm gonna be the best Darnell out here. Period. Before the game, after the game, y'all can say, when we play, it's gonna be a distinct difference between me and him, and I'm gonna let y'all decide who the best is.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I did that. I did that.
Especially him being from a city school.
Yeah.
Because his name was like out there.
Yeah.
Tutu, Darnell, Juan Gay.
Out there, bro.
Them
That
three-
was the dude
Yeah.
at the time.
Yeah,
And,
for
but
sure.
Emerging was behind us was me,
Yeah.
Lowe's, you know,
Look,
that crew.
exactly,
So it was
exactly.
like we was out to prove that nah, they really
Yeah.
ain't the dudes, bro. We really them dudes, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
Yeah, we live for them type of matchups. Yeah.
So, what kind of things were you into other than basketball, besides the gauntlet of track to football to? I mean, you know,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, like keeping your body in shape. Like, what kind of things outside of school were you into as well?
I was just like any other kid, man. You know, love to listen to rap music. That was back in the day, man, when we, you know,
What's some of your favorite?
you pop in your tape, man, and press record. Remember them
Yeah.
two buttons, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Hope you didn't miss it. You know, some of my favorite artists. You know, coming up, man. You know, I used to love the Fat Boys. You
Yeah,
know,
for sure.
I used to love Run DMC.
All day, Houdini.
Yeah, man.
5 minutes
Houdini.
of funk.
You know,
feel
yeah,
me?
bro.
LL
like,
Cool J when he came
of
on the
them,
scene.
bro. All
Yeah.
of them, man. And you know, but the present day, I think I learned a ton from guys like Jay-Z, man. You know, just the outside of him being one of the best flow artists of our time. It's just the nuggets and the wisdom that boy drops, man.
Absolutely.
You know, he keeps me inspired,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
You know what I mean? To think beyond, you know, status quo.
Yeah.
And to be able to continue to inspire the next generation. And so, you know, guys like him, you know, present day, is who stay in my deck.
Right.
Yeah.
So senior year, is that when y'all go to state and look? Oh no, it's not state.
I went to state twice
Okay.
in high school, my sophomore year and then my freshman year and my sophomore year.
Okay, so like, how did your senior year end?
My senior year ended, boy, not the way I wanted it to, man. We lost in the regional semifinals to a team that we ain't had no business losing to. It was one of those games where, you know, they devised defense to really, you know, come and double and triple me everywhere. And, you know, it took my teammates a little bit of longer to get rid of them butterflies and jitters.
Yeah.
They wasn't hitting a lot of the open stuff. Like I was still giving the ball up because I was of the mindset that I know I'm gonna get mine whenever I decide to.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But I gotta feed them so they're confident when I need them to be.
Yeah.
So I used to purposefully try to get them involved early on in the games. And just so happened, man, that night, man, my shooters just wasn't making shots, and they was getting butt naked, wide open shots because they were coming, they were sending 2 and 3, and I was, boom, 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 okay, wide open, damn, and we just couldn't, we were just out of sync, man, the whole night, to the point to where we was down 18 going into the fourth.
Wow.
So everybody's just like awestruck, like, what is going on, man? Cincinnati Loveland is who we played in the regional semifinal, and fourth quarter, man, I just went haywire. I said, nah, we ain't gonna lose. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm gonna put this thing on our back, and I'm gonna take every shot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I got us back in overtime, man.
About that, don't you?
And I could have, regulation.
Okay.
I tied it up. I had an 18-point fourth quarter, tied it up, and I missed the free throw. We could have sealed it. Like, we could have won.
Won the game.
Yeah, but we had to go into overtime. Went to overtime. Balls didn't bounce right. We
Coach.
lose my senior year on my miss. Well, I say it like that, on my missed free throw. Now, I carried us to get back, but I still kicked myself in the butt.
Yeah, man, damn.
Come on, man. It's free, bro. We should have made that.
I mean, normally we say it for the end, but would you consider that your legendary mistake or that further on in the story?
Yeah. I mean, I got a lot more, I would say life lessons beyond that. You know what I mean? That was just a part of my process.
Yeah.
Right? Like I had to go through that and experience that level of pain, right? For me to keep wanting to get better.
Right.
And keep striving for something. You know what I mean?
right.
Because pain is your best teacher.
Yeah.
Right? It's very ironic to say this, but success really don't teach you much. Right? Failure teaches you way more than success ever will. Because you have a more concentrated focus when you fail at something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you're determined not to let that result, right, rear its ugly head again. So you
Right.
pay attention more to that. Whereas if you were successful at something, you kind of take it for granted. Oh, okay, I'll do it again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When really, it don't teach you much.
Right.
With all your winning, every time you beat a team, unless you like a real underdog or they just got some dogs and you like, damn, we might lose.
Yeah.
When you win a game, it's just like we were supposed to win that. Yes,
Exactly.
that's just another win. But when you lose, you really feel the hurt.
Yeah.
Like, oh my,
Yeah.
I cannot believe
And
we lost this game,
my
bro.
you know where the turning point, to get to your point, was for me, was, and I like sharing the story, and it's in my book too.
Yeah.
It didn't happen on the basketball court, dog. I was a junior in high school. I was the man, big man on campus.
Yeah.
We took a class trip, down to Kings Island, right? Now listen to this, bro. I got a pocket full of bread, right? Parents gave me money to go. We at Kings Island all day, bro, right? We going to, y'all remember them little stores they used to have, man?
Yeah.
It was a Lakers jacket in there that I wanted, right? So I go in there, I case the joint, right? I walk back out, take some of my buddies back in there with me. They going through it. I try on the jacket, take it back off. Looking around, like, damn, I really don't want to spend all my money on this,
Yeah.
right? Dude, I put the jacket on, put my jacket on over top of it. I walks out. The whole time, unbeknownst to me, it's an undercover watching every move I'm making, bro.
Wow.
Right? I'm thinking I'm out slicking the slick, right? He let me get outside the store and say, hey, stop. My hood instinct kick in immediately.
Run.
Right? I'm running. Right? He can't catch me, bro. That's my thought process.
I'm out of here.
Ain't no way. I'm thinking about, I'm going to be outside the park at the bus when they get out here. You know what I mean? I'm just ain't going to be able to enjoy the rest of the night, right? So, dog, I takes off, right? I'm leaving him, though, right? All my classmates looking like, why is this dude running through Kings Island like this, right?
And you are the star.
I'm the man, man. I am the man, bruh. right? I'm that dude. Okay?
At a Catholic school.
At a Catholic school, bro.
Catholic
Right. You know that old saying, boy, you can take that boy out the hood, you can't take the hood out that boy. Right? So I'm gone, bro.
You are the representative of the whole black race. That's Sean.
Yes, bro. Yes. And I'm spoiling it, bro. They all looking at me, man. All these white folks looking at me like, why is he running so fast, right? So, man, I'm literally dodging through rides and this and that, right? Dude get on the radio like, he's coming your way. He's coming your way, right?
Radio.
Yeah, they hit me on the radio. I'm like, I start seeing them all start coming. So they try to corner me. I'm juking them, dodging them, bro. I'm like, I'm getting out the park in my mind. Right? Yeah. Man, they finally get me, man. They apprehend me. They take me in there. I'm out of breath like a mug, bro. Yeah. All my classmates like, wow, this is Darnell getting him up. Like, hell no. Why is our star getting him up in here, bro?
Right.
And in my mind, all I'm thinking like, damn, man, my mom and daddy. That's all I'm thinking. I done disappointed the hell out of them. I don't know what kind of story I can come up with. Ain't really no excuse, bro. Right. You got a pocket full of money, bro. Right. You can pay for that jacket you stole, right? So, man,
jacket had been fired.
I was fired, bro. Well, nobody here had that. On the low, being truth be told, bro, I might have did it again. No, I'm kidding, but bro, I get, man, they take me to this like little holding cell, right? So I'm in there, right? And there's like some like real dudes in there. Like, this is my first encounter. Like, y'all done really did some real shit, man. Like y'all make my stuff look like child's play, right? So I'm in there, they like, man, why you here, little bro?
Kings Island's got a jail.
Yes, bro. They got a real live holding detaining cell, bro. That looks like a jail. Yes, bro. So I get in there, man. They're like, bro, what happened, man? So I'm like, damn, man, I don't want to tell these. I just stole the jacket. That's why I'm in here. I was like, man, I don't know, man. They just start chasing me, man. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And shoot, that night, man, my principal from my grade school came down there. My mama, my daddy, the principal from CJ, and they released me on their recognizance. Theirs, not mine. Yeah. Theirs.
So everybody
didn't read up like, this dude is a beaming star in our community. Like, this is totally out of character for him. We don't know what happened to somebody, drug him or something. Like this dude is like the beacon, right? Yeah. So they released me, man. And just fellas, just that hurt and shame that I felt that I did to everybody in that moment was the turning point. Yeah. You know, that was one of the greatest life lessons I ever learned. Yeah. You know what I mean? Is that this is bigger than Darnell Hoskins. Yeah. Like, you got a lot of people in your corner that's leaning on you to do great things. Like, bro, you can't be making these kind of decisions. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so anytime I'm in a tough type predicament or situation, I always think back to that experience. Wow. And I know that I have much more to carry on for than what this is.
That's legendary, bro.
Yeah.
That
was a great story.
Yeah.
Man, you want to pay some bills real quick?
Yes, sir. Hey, check out this new commercial, bro. We dropping this. We got Coach Hoskins in the building. So just to kind of like keep that vibe, check out this commercial we about to drop on the Laker game, man. Lakers versus Warriors, October 19th. We on Time Warner Cable, man. You see my cousin Skeeter fly in the back. Where my young king at? Kari, where you at? Come here, bro. I want y'all see one of these real ballers. Ohio King. Ohio King extraordinaire, man. Young Kari Reed in here. Yes, sir. Every time I come in the press room, you in the press room. Working on our Stars Hot-Tronic heat press. Using all the vinyl. Making all the picture tees. I like vinyl.
I'm about to just load these boxes up. I'm out your way.
Man, you gotta be a crazy little brother to get fired on your day off. What you get caught stealing boxes for?
Man, I didn't get caught stealing no boxes. He said he caught me though.
We get our rent paid.
Why don't you go in there and ask the girls real fast to see if they help us pay our rent?
That don't sound like a bad plan at all.
What's up, Pops?
What's up, Smokey?
I'm trying to set up a meeting with the girls, man.
Okay.
Y'all wanna help me and Craig pay our rent?
Craig still owe me money from the last time he got me. He gotta learn a lesson. He shouldn't be stealing. Go ask him to tell that girl from last night to give him some money.
What they say? They said it's slow for real. I'm about to just ask boss when we get our job that night. Of course you can. Yeah!
What's up, y'all? T-shirt king. Look, I just made all these shirts for Michael Wright. TL show.
My nephew right here, your daddy too.
Yes,
Like his daddy. What's up?
What we got, bro?
Hey man, what's up?
Yo, what you got, bro?
Man, we got, listen, man. We got these shirts, man. Look at the greenness.
Hold on, pull one out, bro. Pull one out.
Quality shirts.
Yeah.
Not just
Let me see the
shirts.
back.
Quality shirts. What's happening? What's up, guys? Yeah, we doing it right here at the T-shirt, man.
Yeah,
Y'all
man.
didn't know, come and get some of this T-shirt. Okay, this is my brother, y'all.
Yeah, man. Every time I come in the press room, you in the press room. Working on our Stars Hottronic heat press. Using all the vinyl. Making all the picture tees. I like vinyl.
I'm about to just load these boxes up on Nacho. Man, you gotta be a crazy little brother to get fired on your day off. What you get caught stealing boxes for?
Man, I didn't get caught stealing no boxes. He said he caught me though.
We get our rent paid.
Why don't you go in there and ask the girls real fast to see if they help us pay our rent?
That don't sound like a bad plan at all.
What's up, Pops?
What's up, Smokey?
I'm trying to set up a meeting with the girls, man.
Okay.
Y'all wanna help me and Craig pay our rent?
Craig still owe me money from the last time he got me. He gotta learn a lesson. He shouldn't be stealing. Go ask him to tell that girl from last night to give him some money.
What they say? They said it's slow for real. I'm about to just ask boss when we get our job that night. Of course you can. Yeah!
Oh my
Yes,
God,
sir,
boy,
man.
crazy,
We back in
man.
the building, man. Legendary People Podcast in the
Yeah,
building,
yeah.
man. Make sure that you guys go and check out Sheets for Breakfast. Got the best breakfast in the city, man. That's for sure. And then go to lunch at Agnes All Natural Grill on 3rd and Wayne. And if you ever get injured, call attorney Michael Wright, 937-222-7477. And when you want to get drunk, that's not just but when you want to just have you a nice little drink with your girl, or you want to have a drink with your man, get some of that Kiara wine from my bro Big. It's Antoine Cunningham on Facebook. Do it big for the kids. Every year he throw the parade, so make sure you get in his inbox and he can tell you where to go get some of that good old Kiara wine. We drunk some last night. Really good, sweet wine, so you'll like it. If you want us to read your ad, give you a mention, or you can see where we got your ad here on all of our screens, just give us a ring, get in our inbox, send us your information, and we'll read and tell you the pricing on how to get your ad read on the Legendary People
We got a couple of them loading up. We got a couple people loading
podcast.
up.
Yes, we got a lot of people asking us, but we only accept anybody.
Yeah.
We only accept anybody.
Hey.
We only accept anybody.
I like that. That's
All
some bars, man.
Yes,
That's some
sir.
bars.
Peanut, back to you, bro.
So we just went through a crazy story of you with the had to be the flyest jacket in the world. I don't care what you say.
No doubt.
I can envision that jacket. Like,
No doubt.
It had to be the jacket Kobe had
Man
on.
would want to, he would want to be wearing it right now, guaranteed, bro. Guaranteed.
For sure.
So back to the heart, like heartbreak of losing. What's it like after losing that game? Because like you got the whole school counting on you,
Yeah.
and then because basketball's bigger than what happens on the game. I mean, you know what I'm saying, like on the court, it's the other things around, like the peripherals, like because you still gotta go to school the next day.
Yeah.
What was that like having to face the people that was like, man,
You know, the toughest part about that, Nut, was, man, I knew that my career was going to be extended. I was
Yeah.
going to college. I already knew I had already signed early. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So my thought process was, what's up with the people that this was it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What about them boys that ain't going to school to play basketball? Like I thought about that like all night, man. Like, and it was deep because I was like, man, not everybody is being afforded the same opportunities as me, and that's where I developed that level of compassion for, people in certain situations, because not everybody's situation is like yours. And so it gave me a different perspective, right? And it made me a little more sensitive to what they were going to experience.
Right.
And so the rest of that year, man, I just tried to make sure that I was the best friend to those people that I could possibly be. Not even basketball related. I wanted to make sure that experience that they had, and this is just the mantra and the philosophy that I live by anyway, is that, life itself is a school, right? And everybody that you come in contact with is an educator of yours.
Wow.
Right? It's up to you to be able to decipher what lesson they're teaching you. I mean, you can learn a lesson from a baby, right? You can learn a lesson from a fool out here on the street,
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
And everywhere in between. And so, for me, what I got out of that was, your perspective can either be your passport or it can be your prison. Depends on how you choose to look at it, right? And I always choose to look at it with the glass half full.
For sure.
And so my mantra that I live by is everybody that I come in contact with, I want to be able to leave them better than when I found them.
Absolutely.
Whatever that is.
Coach, when you in a moment like that and it's for the money, the game is on the line, you got all kind of stakes that's high.
Yeah.
Do you think about all of that stuff when you get ready to walk to the line and shoot the free throw? Or is it just
It's
it was just
instinctive.
like any other miss?
It is. It's just, it's instinct. I've done it a million times. It's like getting on a bike and riding it, right? I just didn't make it.
Right.
Like Michael Jordan said, I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot 26 times, and I failed.
Yeah, for sure.
Thus is why I succeed.
For the
Yeah.
pros in the NBA, for the people who just can't seem to get to make. Let's take Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
Okay. Ben
Good
Simmons.
example.
Great example.
To me, I always feel like, man, Ben Simmons is a really good player. I love
He really
Ben
is.
Simmons.
He
I
really
love
is.
Ben Simmons. But why is it that he won't shoot the ball? Or why is it that he goes to the free throw line and just keeps missing? Is it his mechanics or is that more mental?
No, you know what? I think it's just a lack of confidence.
Yeah.
Ironically, man, some people are just afraid to fail. You know, and I always tell kids that I coach, don't be afraid to fail. And if you're going to fail big.
Right.
You know what I mean? Fail real big.
Yeah.
Right? Because most of your education is going to come away from that failure. Most of your drive, to get better is going to come from that failure. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You're always going to miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Take that thing.
Yeah.
What's the worst that's going to happen? You're going to miss.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
You ain't going to be the first one. You ain't going to be the last one. You just
Right.
missed. You
Right.
know what I mean? Guess what? The next time you're going to be better prepared to make it.
Man, on the Uncle Drew movie, which was so cool, man.
Say spoiler alert, I ain't finished it yet.
You ain't well.
That
That movie came out
being
3
silly.
years ago. You ain't gonna never finish that, man. Are you kidding me? Probably 5 years
Yeah,
ago.
longer than that probably.
But what was cool was there was the coach was afraid to shoot the ball because he had missed before.
Mm-hmm.
And he got in a huddle. They said, shoot the ball. He said, what if I miss? And all of the brothers that was around him said, what if you don't?
What if you don't?
That was so major, man, when
That's
they
powerful.
said that, because it gave you a whole new perspective. Yeah, if you miss, you just like anybody else. Of course you miss. The chances are you may. Yeah. But if you hit it, you become a legend.
There you go.
And so
I'm
you
so
got to
glad
shoot that
spared me the
thing,
moment
man.
to be crying during that moment of the movie. I'm almost done with it.
Okay, now stop it, man.
But nah, to me, that's an excellent point. Speaking of coaches, which is a perfect segue.
Yeah.
Who were some of your influential coaches before you got to Wisconsin? Well, who were some of those that you were like notable?
Well, my first coach is my dad, man.
Shout out to Pops.
Yeah, shout out to Pops. Yeah, he
gave you the drive.
Yeah, no question, man.
They gave your car to the drive.
Yeah, but you know what? That was a good wordplay right there. I like that, Nut.
You did good.
Even before that, though, man, he was the first dude, man, that didn't allow me to do the things that were improper. Meaning, he bad as I wanted to shoot on the big rims, he wouldn't let me, right? Because he thought that would breed bad mechanics, right? He was the first dude, that really threatened me that to tie my right hand behind my back to make me always go left.
Yeah.
Shout out to Pops, thank you, because that extended my career greatly, right?
Yeah.
Because as a youngster, I bought into the value of being able to go both ways equally as well. And then from there, you know, the thing I love about my dad is he understands what his limits are. And that when I got to a point where he couldn't help me no more, he told me, listen, bruh, you beyond me now. Let me go find somebody who can get you where you need to go. Because I've done all I can do for you now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Did your pops play basketball?
Nah, my pops was a street dude, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That just transitioned to want to be a family man.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was important enough to him to raise his kids. But yeah, he was out there. And so he instilled those core values in me. You know what I mean? And I got to see a gleaming example of somebody who wanted to be there and wanted to be in their kids' life. So I didn't know nothing different.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like all my boys that came from single parent households, Los, TJ, all my friends, Hog, all of them were single parent household dudes. But my dad was like they dad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And at the time, like I said, it didn't register. But as I look back on it now, I just think like, dang, man, that dude was a great example.
Absolutely.
You know, great example. But yeah, he was one of my first coaches, and then obviously when I got to Chaminade, Joe Staley, shout out Coach Staley, man. He was the best, man. He was just what the doctor ordered for me. And I remember the first time I ever sat down and talked to him. He said, "Hey, man," he said, "You know what, man? You're gonna be a great player no matter where you go." He said, "But I'm gonna teach you how to be a great leader."
Right.
You know what I mean? And you know, as a 13-year-old kid, I was just like, that's pretty deep. You know what I mean? And from there, he really taught me the things that have helped me be successful in life, right? And that's why I've always been pretty good at creating chemistry and understanding what's important to you and you over here, so I in turn can get what I need to get out of you from a production standpoint. But I've got to learn what your personality is and what your hot buttons are before I can push them to push you to greatness yourself.
Wow.
Right? So you can help me help you to help me.
It's a give and take relationship.
Yeah, no
right?
question, no question. So if you talk about the most influential or the most impactful before I got to Wisconsin, yeah, I would have to say it's been my dad and Coach Staley for sure.
That's wonderful, man.
Yeah.
So what was that transition like from high school to college?
A big one, man.
Because now you're leaving the nest now.
Yeah, big time, man. And it was a culture shock in a lot of ways, on and off the court.
Exactly. So
off the court, like where I experienced a level of diversity by going to Chaminade, which was at the time 70% Caucasian, 30% African American. That was a shocker, right? But it was one that was an easy adjustment, right? When I got to Wisconsin, dog, 50,000 undergrad, 1% black. You imagine that? 50,000 undergrad, 1% black.
You basically.
Bruh, everybody that plays sports, football, basketball. Like, so when you seen the African, what up, bro? Like, it was kind of like, it was like kind of one of them deals. So making that adjustment was a challenge. You know what I mean? Because while I experienced some level of diversity here, it was like totally the other way when I got there. Right. You talk about on the court, when I got there, you talking about leaving here, I was Mr. Everything, right? Yeah. I'm the Division II, state player of the year, runner up as Mr. Basketball. I mean, I'm like that dude, right? Yeah. When I got there the first day, man, we practiced, man.
Clean slate.
Bruh, it wasn't even a clean slate. My coach was Stu Jackson. He had just came from the NBA 2 years prior, right? He said, hey, man. He said, this is the first day of practice. He said, hey, man, I heard you average 28 a game when you was in high school. I was like, yeah, that was all right, man. You know what I mean? He said, hey, you see dude right there? He was talking about Michael Finley, who was a perennial all-star at some point in the NBA. He said, hey, man, he going to get 20. All right? I need you to get him the ball. And then you see this big 7-footer right here, Rashard Griffin, #1 player in the nation. He gonna get 20. You need to throw him the ball. Ain't gonna be a lot of shots for you, but if you can get them the ball, you're gonna get to where you wanna go. That was like a major blow to your boy ego. Because I'm like, dude, that was that dude at home. Yeah. You know what I mean? But thankfully for me, I had enough, character built up in me to understand the game in its totality. And so in my mind, okay, I've got to find some other way to impact the game besides scoring. So I said to myself, okay, how can I accomplish that? He said, you want to get seen? He was like, man, let me tell you 3 things that you're going to be judged on. Can you keep the other team's point man out of the paint? Can you get us in our offense? And can you hit the open when it presents itself? If you can concentrate on them 3 things, you're going to go to the NBA.
Wow.
Like, nobody had ever put it down to me like that.
Coach, when they came to recruit you, was it a different story when they was coming to recruit you? Or did they recruit you?
And, they don't recruit you, they're going to tell you what you want to hear, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're going to come here, we're going to let you do your thing, blah, 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 blah. We can see you meshing nice with, the current roster we got. We recruiting such and such and such and such.
Yeah.
Right? So, yeah, a little different in that way. They're going to tell you what you want to hear.
But your pops had already told you about the game.
They already schooled me. Yeah, they was like, listen, bro, be wise when you make this choice because it's going to impact not only these 4 years that you're going to go through, but the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Like, people don't realize, like, when you go to college, a lot of times that's where you meet your potential wife.
Yep.
Right.
That's where you end up establishing a residency sometimes.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? That's where your biggest network opportunity, presents itself a lot of the times. And so, that decision becomes a really, really big one. And so, like, it was great that I was exposed to that, but when, Clay offered the opportunity for me to come back, and then he added that caveat that, your life after basketball opportunities will be endless. Man, it was a no-brainer for me. That was a slam dunk. Slam dunk.
Yeah. That's a bar, too, by the way.
It's going to be a slam dunk. You just a basketball person, bro. What? It's going to be a slam dunk.
You call him a virgin? A basketball virgin?
Man,
that's the first time I heard it.
Man, that's it, bro. That's all you. Hey, bro, that's all you know.
Smith cannot check me. I swear to God, Smith can't check me.
Coach Hoskins, all you know is basketball.
But he's so good at it. Swear.
Said that's gonna be a slam dunk. Let's go. Hey, y'all want to read some of these comments real quick?
Absolutely.
All right. Hey,
So,
we got.
we want to cross over to the comments section.
Yeah.
It couldn't resist, man.
Man, hey. After I cross over to the comment section, I'll pass it back to you.
Making an alley-oop like a dunk.
Yes, sir.
Hey, let's go.
Now, wait, don't take it too far.
To the legendary comments, man, Drew.
All right, here we go. Remy G in the building, man. Remy said, tell Nell to talk about when we played in the adult league and tournaments and ran through everyone. Him, which is you, Los Knox, Chris Mack, and Remy.
Yeah.
Did y'all play after y'all was done playing? Y'all got in the
So
adult league?
like when we retired, I might have been at the tail end of one of my career at that point, right?
Yeah.
And that's funny, Reem. What up, Reem?
Remy G.
Man, it was so funny because I remember playing against Denny Hunters and them team in the championship, right? And he was serious about it. Like, he really stacked this team for an opportunity to beat us, right? Because it meant the world to him. We was just out there like playing, right? So he said something that was so profound during one of the championship games. I'll never forget it, man. We was beating them like a drum, right? With like all guards, right? He said, hey, man, stop, man. He was hollering at one of his teammates. He said, hey, man, stop. Listen, man, they got a basketball IQ of 1,000 over there. Man, we got to play damn near perfect to beat them. I said, man, that's just now dawning on him. You got everybody out here that really know how to play. We was never fearful that we was going to lose. You know what I'm saying? But he heated with his team because he done went out and spent money on this team.
Yeah.
Like he went and got Dwight Anderson,
Oh,
cleaned
whoa.
him up.
Whoa.
But bro, they was serious about
What?
beating us, bro.
We gotta talk about Dwight Anderson because a lot of
Yeah.
times we don't have people who actually played against Dwight Anderson. Like, what kind of talent was he?
Bro, was he? You know, up until the day he died, bro. I'm gonna give you a real nugget here.
Yeah.
Bruh, this is the true story, man. They went and got Dwight off the corner fresh from smoking. Right?
Yeah.
Fresh from smoking. True story, bruh. My right hand. Got him some shoes, got him some shorts, and said, you playing in the championship game, we got to play against Los, Nail, that crew, right? I lie to you not, bro. The boy gave us 30 fresh off the block.
What?
And so what that made me realize, because I guarded him a couple times, bro, and I'm in relatively good shape at this point. You know what I mean? He gave me a couple instances and flashes that showed me who he was.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So me and Los kind of looked at each other's side. I'm like, yeah, he was the truth.
Yeah.
He was the truth, bro. Because think about that. You smoking dope and you can give us 30?
Yeah.
Imagine when you was on top of your game.
Right.
Huh? Well, nothing nobody could have done with that boy,
And
man.
y'all are fresh out
No,
of
we
college. Y'all
in shape. Like
tip-top
we
shape.
at the top of our game at this point. That's why we never feared losing to nobody around here because
Right.
Number one, we had a basketball IQ of 1,000 out there. Everybody out there knew how to play.
Documented.
Yeah.
Right.
And then we all was in great shape, bruh. Like really good shape. So we knew conditioning wise you wasn't gonna be able to stand it to beat
Right.
us. You know what I'm saying? But when they brought him into the mix, bruh, they still didn't have a chance to beat us, but the mere fact that he did what he did against us,
Yeah.
he gave us 30, bruh.
Right.
Smoked out now, it's 30.
Right.
So you imagine if he was clean.
He would have smoked y'all.
What?
Look.
You're going too far. You're going too far, man.
Hey man, shout out
Skeeter
to
Bond,
the
text me that. Skeeter
man.
Bond,
Shout out to the great
Yes,
Dwight
the great.
Anderson,
Oh, the GOAT.
man. All
The GOAT.
respect and
Greatest of all
flowers
time
on his
from here,
name,
baby.
man, for
Right.
sure, man. We got his grandson, man, played with the Kings.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying, a
him
year or
too,
two,
man.
man.
Yeah, he bomb.
And his daughter, man. I'm really cool with his family, like
Okay.
real talk.
Yeah,
For
absolutely,
sure,
man.
you
Nah,
know,
that's good
Dwight
stuff.
Anderson, man. R.I.P. to the King, man, for sure.
So, what kind of game would you compare it to if you're looking at NBA players today? If you were to compare him to a talent,
To a talent,
yeah.
he would be like a mixture of Iverson and Russell Westbrook.
Oh God,
Damn.
He was as fast as Iverson, but like explosive like Westbrook. Like in the end, y'all hip to his movie. His movie's called The Blur. He was literally a blur, dog. Like he would get the rebound and beat everybody down the floor and then dunk you.
Man,
Yeah, like he was that dude.
he went to Kentucky too.
Bro, listen to this, man. This is a true story, man. Michael Jordan, Isaiah Thomas, Mark Aguirre, they all in that same class.
Yeah.
He was the #1 player in the nation, bro.
Right.
Over them.
Right. That's that dating shit, bro. Like we be
Over
having genius
all of
around us.
Now, I
bro.
just said perennial
God.
all-stars.
Yeah.
Like Hall of Famers, first ballot guys. He was the dude that they were looked up to like, oh, yeah, he that dude.
Oh my God, man.
Yeah, he that dude. He the greatest that never was.
Like real talk.
Like for real. Like if that
Man,
boy would have
that's
stayed
major.
clean, like he'd have been the first ballot dude.
Dang,
No
man.
question.
So not even putting Lynn Bias in the equation, he's eclipsed all of that.
Bruh.
Because like that story everybody says. Like,
Bro, I
Len
said
Bias.
Michael Jordan, bro.
Right, right.
Yeah.
He in that class. He was #1 in that class.
Wow.
You talking about
Jordan.
Mike, the greatest to ever lace him up? Everybody say still,
Yeah.
right?
He was
Shout out
#1.
LeBron. I think he right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Everybody regarded him as the dude, man.
Right.
You know, and it was with good reason.
And then I'm gonna just read one more of these good old comments, man.
Legendary
Couple of
comment
them.
section.
Couple of them. What's good, family? Delvon Bass, what's up, Smed? Tell Hoskins I ain't seen him out in the field in a while.
Ah, okay. What
Yes,
up? What
sir.
up?
Micah checked in, said, "What's up, D Hop?" You was
Micah.
good. He said Ben Simmons has psychological problems. and he's scared to fail. Dennis Lachlan said, talk about first dating. Tony Ruby checked in and said, yes, sir. And Miss TRBM said that you got 100% character, bro.
Wow.
Appreciate it.
So, like, what's it like going to UD and then like that season of going to UD?
Man, that was a fantastic experience, man. You know, I think every kid from here, whether they readily admit it or not, want to play in your hometown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, UD is, whether you think this is true or not, is the pro team in town.
Yeah.
You know what it's for sure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there is something to be said about running out of that tunnel, man, and knowing that that city is here to support you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Man, I remember the first time I ran out for my first game, man. I got chill bumps, bruh. Like, wow. Like, man. And they getting 13-5 in there every night, whether they playing Syracuse or they playing St. Rita of the Blind, bruh. They coming.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They coming. They going to pack that joint out. It's support to the hilt, man. And one thing that I really appreciate about being a UD is that they take care of their own. They really do, man. They do their best to make sure that everybody leaves out of there with a degree. And then furthermore, not only having that piece of paper, but putting you in a network where that paper can work for you. So even more than just saying, yeah, I graduated, I got a degree. Okay, that's great. A lot of people have them. But what are you doing with it?
Right.
We're going to make sure that they go to work for you.
Right.
Like that it's meaningful, that piece of paper means something.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's the greatest experience about, you know, coming to UD was that. And I got a lot of great experiences, man. One of my best experiences is, man, I had my son while I was there.
Let's go.
You know what I mean? He was literally born in that arena, man. The day we played DePaul, his mom had to get rushed to Good Sam. I'm late getting to the tip-off of the DePaul game with a police escort from Good Sam to UD Arena, bruh. He born at like 3:30, right? They do all the cleanup stuff, and, you know, make mark down as the dad. Then they like, yo, man, we gotta go. It's time to get you down to the arena, man. I get a police escort straight down Salem, bruh.
Man,
straight to the arena,
that's
man.
major.
That
Straight
is
in there.
so legendary.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, man. So I had a lot of great experiences at UD, man. You know, if there's one regret that I have is that I didn't immerse myself even more when I got there. Like, one regret was I only had a year and a half when I got there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If I'd have had 4, man, you know, those life after basketball opportunities, those meaningful relationships that I would have been able to further develop. I mean, I did a pretty good job while I was there.
Absolutely.
But you know, it would have gave me an opportunity to get more. You know what I mean?
Such as, like, for instance, with the most recent UD alumni to go to the league, which is Obi Toppin.
Yeah.
Have you ever met him or anything like
Oh
that?
yeah, absolutely.
What kind of person do you think? I mean,
Good dude, man. Good dude. You know, the thing that first struck me about Obi was how grounded he was. Like, I met him before he became Obi.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so when he first stepped on campus, a lot of people don't know that, he redshirted. He wasn't even a part of the plan.
Yeah.
So kudos to him that he kept grinding and kept working. I got a tremendous amount of respect for guys that get it from the mud.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he was one of them dudes. Like, when I talked to the staff, they wasn't sure because he came out of prep school, right? But think about all the seasoning that he had. He went to 4 years of high school, then went prep school, then he redshirted. He was a grown man by the time he started.
Yeah.
So his freshman and sophomore year, when they started projecting him on all those lottery boards, the boy was ready.
Right.
Physically, mentally, he had enough seasoning that he was ready for that. Right. But he's a great pro, simply because, you know, I'm sure that experience at UD had a lot to do with it. It seasoned him up, not just on the court. You know, obviously he's a tremendous talent on the court, but even off the court, man. You know, to be able to deal with, you know, the media swarm that you got to be able to deal with just in a city like New York.
Yeah.
He's from there.
He's from New York.
He's from New York. So, I mean, he knew a little bit about it, but to be able to take on that level of responsibility where, you know, they adoring you as the next and, you know, you from there, and that comes with a tremendous amount of responsibility, you know, and
coming from you, that is exactly what you mean. Like,
no doubt, man. And you know, obviously he's done well and he's going to continue to do well. I think he's got a really good coach in there, that will play towards his talent level. Freakishly athletic, obviously. But I think his experience at UD, and he'd probably say the same thing, has prepared him for what he's embarking on now. And I'm not just talking about on the court, fellas. I'm talking about off the court. How to be a real pro off the court. You know what I mean? How to manage, your social affairs, how to manage, your media affairs, just to make sure that you are a true representative of the organization that you're playing for. And furthermore, a true representative of where you came from.
Wow.
Yeah, man. Shout out Coach Ricardo Greer, man.
Hey.
At UD, man. That is my
Rico.
bro.
So,
That's
Pretty
my
Ricky,
bro.
what I call him.
You call him Pretty Ricky?
That's my man. That's
Man,
my man.
he got a son that can go too.
Oh, yeah, RJ.
Man,
Oh,
all
yeah.
day. He played
yeah,
with
I'm
the
hip.
Kings.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir, man. All day.
Yeah.
for sure. So, what was the last game at UD like for you?
Man, you know what? That's one of the most memorable games of my life. Simply because, as a kid, like I said, whether kids readily admitted it from this area or not, that's got to be a dream, desire, or a goal.
Yeah.
To play in front of your hometown. And I was blessed and fortunate enough to do it and do it at a high level. And so, I don't know if you guys remember this, but when I left my last game, man, I knelt and I kissed the middle of the floor because that was a symbolism of my thanks back to everything that the game had gave to me from here. Just being from Dayton, being from the west side of Dayton, being from Princeton Park.
Yeah.
Man, that was a childhood dream of mine, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And to actually have it happen was like a dream come true. Right. And I wanted to document that dream coming true. And I wanted to be a level of inspiration for the next kid to come out of here that, you know what? Oh, I know that dude, man. Like I got a problem when people say, oh, yeah, man, you're a role model. Nah, man, I ain't no role model. I'm a real model. You know what I'm saying? I'm a dude that they can reach out and touch every day.
Yeah.
I'm not some far-fetched dude that you see on TV like, oh, yeah, like 50 Cent or somebody. Nah, bruh, I'm dead. Yeah. You could touch me every day. You know what I mean? And I pride myself on that. That guess what, bruh? I made it from right here. So can you. There's no doubt in my mind that you can make it. I did it.
Dayton.
This ain't nothing I'm guessing that I think I can do. I actually did it. You know what I mean? So yeah, that last game at UD, man, and just the overwhelming, gratitude that those folks show you, man, is unbelievable.
Ooh, I got a question in here from you for William Shaw. He said, "What would you and Los have done at UD?"
Oh God.
Well, me and him, man, we me and Los are damn near twins. Like literally, bro. Like tomorrow's our birthday.
Yeah.
All right. We
both.
Yeah, thanks, bro. We both born October
Man, we
the
are
7th.
the most major podcast ever.
Listen.
People come here on their birthdays. And,
Legendary.
man, you know what, bro?
What's up?
You and Los mannerisms, y'all so close.
Yeah.
That y'all's mannerisms and how y'all talk is so similar. And like while you just sitting over here talking,
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, you remind me of Los, bro.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, born on the same day. I'm a minute and 12 seconds older than he is. And we was born in the same hospital. We both was born in Good Sam, bro. Like it was destined for us to be best friends. Like
That is
it's freaky, man. Like when we start comparing notes, when we got like 7 years old or whatever, it's like, damn, dog, we like twins almost. You know what I mean?
Y'all are
brothers
bro,
from different
that's
mothers,
crazy,
man.
bro.
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, that's
Damn,
my
that's
man,
cool,
100
bro.
grand, man. Yep.
Kindred spirits is what they
Man,
call
shout
it.
out. And Los came up here yesterday.
Word?
Los came up here yesterday.
Just
And
yesterday?
Sharna did a notary for him up here yesterday.
yesterday.
He was up here yesterday, and now
Wow.
you're up here today. And I don't think neither one of y'all have been to this new store, man, since I've been in here.
That is uncanny.
Nah, well, you're right. You're right.
That's crazy.
You know what? Because when you did my t-shirts for me, you was down.
Yeah.
You was down the road.
Yeah.
Matter of fact. Yep.
For sure.
Yeah, man.
Man, shout out Los Knox. Los gonna come through here, man, and bless us. I said, Los, you can do it on Zoom. He said, nah, Smith, I gotta come.
He gotta come in
here.
person,
I've been
yeah.
texting him last night and today.
It's hologram, man. It's
Yeah,
hologram.
man.
This
Hey,
one.
before you ask me another question, I'd be remiss if I didn't all the listeners is out there, man. Listen, man. Smear the Nut is doing something unbelievable in my opinion, man. You know, the whole setup that they got here, man, is so inspiring. You know, just to me, man. You know, I grew up with this dude. To watch him evolve, right, is amazing, man. You know. We need to be interviewing y'all dudes, bro.
Oh, man.
You know, for what y'all doing here. Like, real talk, man. Like, I'm truly inspired, man. Like, if I was a kid and I walked in here and I seen all this, I'd be like, dang.
Yeah.
They doing it, man. I'm proud of y'all, man. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that, man. Y'all doing it, man.
Thanks,
keep
bro.
doing it, man.
For real, man. Likewise, too, bro.
So I also don't want to, you know, so I'll be remiss to say, you know, like coming from, you know, Preston Park to graduation, what's like to graduate from the pristine UD, like, cause that had to feel just as good as for playing for UD.
No question, bro. You talk about milestones in your life that are really meaningful. I was the first college graduate in my entire family.
Me as well.
You know what I mean? And so that was like a dream for my mom and dad. You know, and I felt obligated to fulfill that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was a chance for me to turn pro early, leaving UD, and I still had a class to take. And I remember my dad saying, "Hey, man," he's like, "Man, why don't you just do me a favor, bro? Go ahead and knock that class out, man. You know, before you leave, man. Go ahead and knock that class out, man." I was like, "Dang, Pops, I need to get ready, man. I need to, you know, train and get ready, you know, for my first pro gig and da-da-da." He said, "Bro, just go ahead and knock that out, man." And I did it on the strength of him, you know, like all the sacrifices that he made, and you know what I mean, like. How was I gonna tell him no? You know what I mean? Right. And it was one of them ones that I did. It was very, very gratifying, man, to walk across that stage and get that piece of paper. Like, at the time, I didn't know how powerful the paper was. You know, like I heard, you know what I mean? But then when you finally grasp it, and then you hear and you see the networking capability that it holds. Yeah. It changes the game for you. And then you got to learn how to utilize it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then, you know, thank God, man, you know, he's guided me through some rough waters and terrain to, you know, but I had to go through that, you know what I mean, in order to appreciate where I'm at now.
Right.
Yeah.
So now you finally graduate. Now it's good. You got a son.
Yeah.
What's life like for you at this point?
At this point, man, I got a son who's a senior in college. And you know,
not today. I'm saying at that point.
Oh, at that point, at that juncture. Okay, yeah. So I got a kid. So you know, my perspective is different now. I got a responsibility outside of myself, and so I did what any dad would do. I watch what my dad do. I go get married. You know, I start my pro career down in Australia. But my sights are still set on the NBA, and you know, grinding from the bottom to get there to prove that, you know, I belong on the biggest stage ever.
What's it like coming from Princeton Park all the way to Australia?
Oh, it's crazy, man. Like you sit back and
love black people down there, right?
Love you like a king, bro. I mean, like a real live king. Yeah. I remember when I first got off the plane, man. I might have been there like 2 weeks, bro. I'm walking downtown, man. And I'm on this street called State Street, and I bump into Venus and Serena's daddy, right? And he goes, "Hey, man," he said, "Man, you know, like to see other black people down here." He's like, "What you doing down here, man?" I said, "Well, I play pro ball down here, man." He was like, "Oh, how long you been down here?" I said, "Like 2 weeks." He was like, "Oh, okay." He said, "Hey, man," he said, "Well, my little girl, man, is gonna be playing in her first pro event down here, the Australian Open." He's like, "Man, here go a couple tickets, man. I want you to come check her out, right?" I said, "Well, what's her name, man?" He said, "Venus Williams." I was like, "Oh, okay, man. I'll come check her out, man."
Had you heard of her yet?
A little bit. Like they was just starting to get on her. You know what I mean? Like, but she wasn't Venus like that then. And so I was like, "Oh, yeah, man. I ain't doing nothing else, man. And I'm trying to know my way around town. So, yeah, I'll come over there, man, and check it out." He said, "Hey, man, I'm going to tell you, man. She going to be bad. She going to be bad." I was like, "Oh, okay." He said, "But you see that other one, the little one over there? She the one."
Wow.
He prophesied that before it even happened. She was like 9. Yeah. He was like, "But she the one."
Wow.
I said, "Well, what's her name?" He said, "Serena." I said, "Oh, okay. All right." Sure.
Damn.
But that boy didn't call it, man. He called it, bro.
Man, really?
Yeah. He called it. He called it, man. But, you know, all of my experiences, man, as a pro, man, like, you know, I wouldn't trade those over the NBA experiences. You know, and the reason being, man, was because, you know, like all the stuff that I read about in my history books and stuff in class, I got to actually physically touch. You cannot replace those experiences. Like, I got a piece of the Berlin Wall at my house right now. I got to stand in the same bunkers in a city called Trier in Germany where Hitler gave his orders. Like, those type of experiences, man, are monetarily irreplaceable, you know? And the reason I do what I do now is because I want other kids to be able to experience some of the same things that I was able to experience.
Right. So when did you get your coach edge?
You know what? I retired in 2004 from playing professional basketball. And when I retired, man, my high school coach called me. He said, hey, D, he said, man, why don't you come down here, man? The kids would love to interact with you, man. You know what I mean? You're a legend here. You know, they just want, you know, just come and hang out, right? And so because he coached, you know, to me, I couldn't say no, you know what I mean? So I felt obligated to go down there, and so I went down there, you know, started interacting with a couple of the kids, you know, giving them a couple of tips, pointers, you know. But it never dawned on me that to be a coach, right? And so he was like, man, you got a great rapport with these kids, man. He said, I think you're missing, you know, your calling after basketball. He's like, man, why don't you consider, you know, coming around a little more? I was like, nah, coach, man, I just retired, man. I ain't trying to be around the game like that, man. I done did my 10 years, man. I'm good, man. He's like, nah, D, I really think you should, man. You know what I mean? And I said, okay, man, when I get a chance, man, I'll stop back around. You know what I mean? He's like, nah, man, I need you to come tomorrow. And I was like, well, all right, coach, I'll come tomorrow, man.
Right. You're persistent.
Yeah. So I came tomorrow, and then tomorrow turned into the next day, and the next day, so on and so, and to the point to where he finally, you know, he talked me into coming on staff. And so I came on staff, and that was the year when we had Nathan Peavy and Derek Brown and those guys, and we made a state run the first year that I went there and helped out, right? And he sat me down. He said, yo, man, he said, I really think, man, you should be doing this. Like, you really should, like, full throttle. I was like, oh, okay, man, coach, you know, I'm content helping you out. You know what I mean? That's cool, man. This would be my chance to give back. He's like, no. Like, man, you should be a head coach. You know what I mean? I was like, I don't coach no damn high school basketball coach. Like, that ain't my deal, bro. You know? He said, nah, man, I think you really need to consider it. I said, all right, coach, well, when you done, bro, I'll take this over, man. So he was like, okay. So right after that season was over with, I think he recognized that I had a gift for it. And he thoroughly encouraged me to go after the next head coaching job that was open. Like, not a lot of people know this, but I started my head coaching career at Springfield High School.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That was my first gig out. Yeah. Shout out Mike Carter, because he's another mentor of mine, man, that really inspired me to go after it, because I still wasn't quite sold that I could be a good high school coach. You know, there was no other lead indicators besides, you know, my interaction with, you know, the kids at Chaminade that I would be. But before I left Chaminade, what I did for Coach was I established a feeder program down there. And I was only able to establish that feeder program, and that's why I love what Smed was doing with his kids, was that that is the lifeblood of a program, right? When you know what's coming up through the pipeline, you can pretty much project how successful you're going to be in coming years.
Right. Yeah.
When your pipeline is continuously full, right? And he did a tremendous job of that. Like, he went out and forged relationships with kids, you know, this big, and like, this gonna be the next. I remember him coming to me like, man, hey, coach, this kid gonna be the next. You need that, right, to funnel and fill that pipeline, so you know what's coming. So I did that for Coach. Anybody who was anybody came through Chaminade Feeder Program, right? That was my son's age or younger. Like, I knew all of the parents and everything, had a great level of credibility built up with everybody. And so they was like, man, Chaminade educationally is great. You down there, so I know my kid gonna get a fair shake. Oh, yeah, let's go.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? That's the recipe. That's the formula. And then Coach said, yo, man, you need to break away from the nest. I love having you here. Believe me, and if you want to stay here for the rest of your career, that's great. But you need to be a head coach. And then Mike Carter got involved, and just so happened Springfield was his alma mater. And so he made a call and said, hey, man, I don't care who else y'all considering. I got the dude. Yeah. Trust me, I got the dude. And I went down there, I interviewed, long story short, got it, inherited the program. It was 5-15. Very next year, same kids, went 15-5, number 3 seed in the tournament. Yeah. Then from there, the boys from Thurgood came calling. Yeah. And for me, it was a no-brainer. Come back and coach in the same hood I grew up in?
Yeah.
Oh, come on, man. I can't turn that one down, right? I get to help the kids that's from my neighborhood. Oh, yeah, no question. I'm there. And that's where I spent the lion's share of my career because I had a super affinity for helping the kids that came from the same predicament and background that I did. I just wanted to be able to show them that, yo, this works.
Right.
Just follow this blueprint, follow this roadmap, and I'm going to get you to where you desire to go. I promise I will. Right. But you got to be disciplined, right? You got to be willing to be coached, right? And take this level of guidance that I got for you and go, you know? And, I you know, for me, fellas, more than hanging championship banners in the rafters, when one of my former kids go off and they be successful at whatever it is, I don't even care what it is, right? But they can come back and they can share their experiences with my current kids. That is the real championship for me. Wow. Then I know I've been impactful. Yeah. You know what I mean? People gonna talk about that long after them rafter banners are in the rafters. How did I really impact your life? Right? Me and Smith talk about this all the time, but his nephew, Joe Thomason, best high school coach I've ever coached. I'm best player I've ever coached in high school.
I'm trying to call him right now. He wanted
highest level
wanted
of
to
IQ I've ever coached, but Joe was one of those rare kids that just got it at a young age. Like he understood it. Like he understood sacrificing his game for the greater good of everybody else. Right. Now that's like a real rarity at that level, you know. But fortunately for me, he was one of those ones that got it. And once I got instilled in him that he always just said, man, I want to play pro ball. I said, Joe, I'm going to get you there, man, I promise. But you got to follow these steps, bro. And from the day I met him to now, the dude ain't never wavered. Now look at him. He married, about to have 3 kids, got a damn successful career overseas. He's living the dream that I told him could manifest itself if he followed the way I was going to give him.
For sure.
And he done it, man. And he done it. That's the championship. Like real talk.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I mean? Like you could win a state championship and the next year people might have forgot who won it, right? That, I ain't gonna never forget that. He ain't gonna never forget that. Right. Now he has an opportunity to pay it forward like I paid it forward to him. Right. You know, he's gonna go make somebody, and he's like, man, coach, I don't know how I can repay you. I said, you want to repay me, Joe? Go make somebody else successful.
Man, I mean, if Joe don't call back by the time the interview is over with, because I already interviewed Joe about you.
Oh, okay.
So I'll share a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, just share how Joe feel about you.
Yeah, that's my guy,
and
man.
Like the feeling is extremely mutual.
Yeah, that's my guy, man. Like he calls me to this day. Like he'll just come out of the blue. What up, coach? Nothing, man. What you doing? Man, I'm asleep, bro. It's 3 a.m. Ah, okay. Well, I'll call you tomorrow, man. Nah, what you need, man? Man, I just wanted to tell you thank you, coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's that type of dude. So that lets me know, like when I first inherited him, there's no way he would have grew that much.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? To now, to see him as a man and taking care of his family and living out his dream, bro, it gives me chills. I damn near want to cry sometimes. Like, man,
and Lil Joe, who is my nephew's son, little baby Joe, is gonna be a monster.
He's gonna be a monster.
He's setting up for some Kobe Bryant type stuff because he's been over playing in Israel. Yeah. He overseas. He hooping in Spain.
That experience.
Yeah, man. And they feed babies that's playing basketball like that's school damn near for them. You know.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, man, I can't wait to see Lil Joe, man. And he play like his dad, bro. And his dad been playing overseas his whole life, but just like his father. Like, if anything, if with my nephew, of course, you always want your kids to shoot more. But with Joe, like, bro, quit passing so much.
Yeah.
But he see the whole court, and it's so good because he a taller player for at least for a guard.
And a lefty.
Man, and a lefty.
Yeah.
And Lil
He's
Joe
so
a lefty.
smooth. He's smooth.
Baby J is a lefty.
Yeah, Baby J, that's what I'm talking about. Baby J is a lefty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See the whole court. He's like, I'm talking about since the time he been 5 or 6. Dishing left, see the whole court, no look pass. Just real cool, bro. Like it's weird.
Well, that's a perfect segue, which is the father coaching part. So like, how did you balance that on the father coaching side?
You know, I was a little apprehensive at the beginning, simply because you get all of that, you know.
Daddy ball.
There you go. You know, and that was the furthest from the truth for me. Like, I didn't even start the career with that in mind. Like, one day I was going to coach my son.
Yeah.
You know, as a matter of fact, he wanted to go to Chaminade to break all of my records, right?
Wow.
But playing for your dad superseded that. And at the time, you know, the wave of Thurgood Marshall was so high. He couldn't. It was undeniable that he would end up there. You know what I mean? And so, but that experience is an experience I wouldn't trade for nothing in the world. You know, to be able to be around your kid every day, and I didn't treat him any differently than I treated the rest of my guys. As a matter of fact, I used to get into straight up powwow, knock down, drag out, like real heated conversations with my staff, because he was a very, very talented freshman, but I had a goon squad when he came in. Like, my pipeline was super full.
Solid.
Like,
Yeah.
no. Like, I had like 3 starting 5s on one team.
Yeah.
Like, literally. Like, they could have went to any other school and all those 5 guys could have started together. My third 5 could have started for anybody, right? That's how deep we were. I mean, we were ranked in the country. We were really, really good. And so that happened to be his freshman year. And so I didn't immediately put him on varsity, right? So Shawnee Mack, shout out Shawnee Mack, he was my JV assistant, right? And, you know, before the season, him and my top assistant, Steve Pittman, they sat me down. It's like, yo, coach, man, you can't treat DJ any differently than everybody else, man, just because he's your kid. You know, you can't make it harder on him than everybody else, right?
Yeah.
The dude can go, bro.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yo, man, I respect what y'all saying, man, but I got Ray Sean Martin, I got Wayno, I got T, I got Jordan Jones, I got Jamichael, I got Mark Allstark, I got Junior, I'm like, dude, I'm thick up here, man. Like, if I felt like he was good enough, he'd be up here, bro, but he ain't in my eyes. You know what I mean? That's just being real.
This is freshman year or sophomore year?
This is his freshman year.
This is freshman year.
This is freshman year. Like,
okay.
Mark and them was seniors then.
Yeah.
And so, so Johnny Mackinnon was like, well, man, we think you're making a mistake, but, you know, show program, we're going to abide by what you say, man, whatever. But every day they would stay in my ear. And DJ, you know, he cut from the same cloth I am.
Right.
He looked at me like, yo, bro, you don't really think I'm that good? All right, I'm going to show you, right?
Yeah.
So every JV game, the boy went out and destroyed everybody, right?
Yeah.
So every game, they would come in the locker room like,
Yeah. Time to step up.
all right, man. You know, he just had 30,
Yeah.
okay, against Dunbar, okay?
Right.
Yeah.
He just had 37 against this team.
Right.
He was killing. He a freshman, but he killing, bro.
Yeah.
So you still don't think he good enough? I said, man, I didn't say he wasn't good enough. He just ain't as good as what I got.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then by the end of the year, it was like I had to concede that, you know, he had arrived.
Well,
you know?
he had told a very, very funny story.
Yeah.
It was flying to the hoop, and y'all was going against Finley Prep.
Yeah.
And y'all was down about 20 points.
Yeah.
And you called him in, and you let him come in the game.
Yep.
He said literally everybody, well, it was 3 D1 like top tier talents on that team.
They had like
All
four
Giants.
pros
Yeah.
on that team.
All Giants. He comes out of the game, and the very first play of the game, he turned the ball over, and then what happened?
Yeah. I said, man, you playing outside yourself, bro. Like, this ain't what we talked about, man. You know what I mean? Like, hey, man, you just get your stuff together, bro. I didn't put you out there for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're going to be like that, come on, sit on down, bro.
Yeah.
You know, but
Yeah.
he shook it off, and
Yeah.
he stepped up, and he started to play better.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
like silver lining was, you know what I'm saying, he won Dayton City League Player of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
He won the Division II District 15 Player of the Year,
Yep.
and first team All Southwest District.
Oh yeah, no, he,
Yeah. So like,
I mean, he was decorated as they
yeah,
come.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It just happened to be my kid. You know, I mean, it's just, you know,
Man, but when you are coaching your son, though,
yeah,
no matter how fair that you try to make it, everybody is looking for you to play favorites for
No
your
doubt.
son.
Yeah.
No
So anytime anything, any inkling of, well, DJ made a mistake, but you didn't take him out.
Right.
Yeah.
You following the flow of the game.
yeah,
You know why DJ is in the game.
mm-hmm.
Somebody else might be in foul trouble, but the people in the stands ain't keeping track of that.
Yeah.
So DJ gotta play.
Mm-hmm.
Or DJ just playing good, or DJ had a good week at practice. Nobody knows why the coach is letting each and every kid play.
Yeah. True, man.
But
true.
when people are coming at you with, did anybody ever approach you with, are you having favoritism towards your son?
Yeah, you know
or are
what?
you playing in front of people when he shouldn't be playing?
Fortunately for me, the dude could play.
Yeah.
So, you know, I feel bad for coaches whose sons ain't that good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they have a tougher time justifying why their kid's playing.
Right.
Like, he made it undisputable, undeniable that I should be playing. Like, and I was getting side-eyed when I didn't play him by
Right.
fans and supporters, and they're like, dude, like,
We watched the game right before this.
yeah, bro, like why he don't play varsity? Like, what's wrong with you?
Right.
You know what I mean? And fortunately for me, Smear, to answer your question, was he could go. You know what I mean? And so that made it a little easier. So I never really had to have those conversations. And plus, you know, he was a coach's kid, so he understood what everybody else didn't coming in was that defense was gonna get me on the court.
Yeah.
And so he became a stellar
Yeah.
defender.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so you couldn't deny that he shouldn't be out there. 'Cause
Yeah.
He was the best defender that we had on ball.
Hey, man,
you know what I
DJ,
mean?
what funny
He was a
thing
monster
about DJ.
defensively, man.
But DJ had like NBA type,
Yeah.
like he
Instincts
like
defensively.
well,
Yeah.
if you bump into him, he
Yeah, he did. He had all of that.
yeah, and it would be so cool
Yeah, he had
to
to
watch
find
him.
the
I
nuances
used
of
to
the
sit
game
there
down,
and
man.
crack up, bro, because he just had all of the whole thing where if you bump into him, I ain't saying he flopped.
He did.
But he would what you call it though, like
But he getting the charge called though. Like he had
Exactly.
studied that.
Oh.
he
Yeah,
had
that's what I'm
studied
saying.
The game, so
His
like he was a
IQ
student of it. His
was
IQ
way
was off the chart. So he watching like
sure.
LeBron. He watching the guys that that do it at a high level, and he is really mimicking and emulating what they're doing.
Thank you.
And
Thank
getting
you,
it
Coach.
off.
That's
at that
what I was
level.
trying to say.
That takes a great degree of talent to be
Yes.
able to do that.
Yeah,
you know what I
man.
mean?
IQ.
On that level of
IQ.
basketball, because they're gonna be like, whatever.
No, he was
Yeah.
getting it off, and just instinctively he had a gift defensively that he knew where you were going before you
Yeah.
did. And
Yeah.
so when he was always in position, and then you gave the least bit of
Yeah.
a push off, bro,
Bro.
you're like, oh,
And they
ref
call-
looking at him like,
and they-
damn, you was in great position. Oh,
Yeah,
Yes,
yes.
man, yeah. He
Yes,
used to get
bro.
it off all the time.
Yeah,
Even
he
his
did.
teammates be like, man, damn, man, he getting this off, man.
Man,
But-
shout out DJ, bro.
Yes.
Shout out to DJ.
Young
So-
King.
So during the first year, y'all turned runner up in your
Yeah.
first year.
Yeah.
Like, what's that like for you to finally be like the one who driving the car? No, we not revisit that. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you get a great level of success in your very first time at the
Yeah.
crack of the bat. How's it feel?
You know what? I didn't really think that we would be that good until like midway through the season. When I first got the job, everything was about changing the culture. Thurgood Marshall was already winning games when I got the job. It was just the culture was a lot different than what I knew it could be. Right? There wasn't a culture of expectancy there. Like,
Yeah.
nobody was like expecting to go to school. Nobody was expecting to be held accountable. Those were all the things that I saw that this opportunity was sorely missing. And I wanted to inject and infuse that before we start talking about winning games. And so I spent the first part of the season holding people accountable, showing them that this is going to be the things that are going to matter in life. Forget basketball for a second, all right? I need to make you a man first. You know what I mean? And if you can go through these things, then basketball becomes simple. You know what I mean? And as they started to understand and transition their level of thinking to that, then I could give them more basketball related stuff.
Yeah, because I'm
But
not talking to kids at this point now. Now I'm talking to men.
There you go,
Mentally.
bro. There you go. And once I felt like we were on a level playing field where they could understand it, like his nephew, for example, when I got him, right, he had missed like 48 days of school. I said, Joe, man, I said, dang, dog. I said, man, I heard you was real good, man. Yeah, coach, look, something. Yeah, I'm all right. I said, dang, that's a damn shame, man. People ain't gonna be able to see you play. He was like, well, why? I said, because if you miss 48 days of school, you damn sure ain't gonna play for me, man. I guarantee that. He looked at me like who is he? I said, just try me, man. It's cool. Go ahead. I ain't got nothing but time, brother. I said, I'm gonna be here. You got 2 more short years to be here. Right. So you can either get on or you can get out. From that day on, man, the boy transitioned and turned his way of thinking. He said, oh, man. We talk about that to this day. Yeah. He's like, man, if you would have never done that to me, ain't no telling where I would have been.
Right? I wanted to bring up a situation where I felt like you was holding kids accountable, making them to shape into being men. Mm-hmm. So we getting ready to go to the state championship.
Yeah.
We in the Final Four. Mm-hmm. Man, everybody, man, is so happy.
It was hype.
Like our whole fan base, bro. Yeah. We beat Dunbar.
Yep.
In order to actually get to the
first.
we beat Dunbar on the way to where we was
Final
going.
Four appearance or the second one?
This is the first one.
This is the first one.
This is the first one.
Yeah, we beat them in the semifinal.
So our leading scorer, the leader of our team, was Jordan Watson.
Yeah, nice.
Man, Jordan.
He was the face of our program.
Face of the program. Yeah. Leading scorer, and Jordan will give you 40 on any given night. Yeah. He shoots the 3, he gets to the hole, and he sit down on defense. He what you want. Mm-hmm. This is if there would be a player that would emulate Coach Hoskins,
it's him. No
we
doubt.
got Jordan.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the teachable moment, right?
Yeah,
here,
man.
Bro.
It was, for me, it was the first time that I think the community looked at me like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
What Smed is referring to was my best player. He's been the face of my program all year long. Has done a stellar job up to this point. Right?
Great kid.
Great kid, right? Great kid, good student, all of that stuff, right? He made a mistake.
A Kings Island mistake.
Listen, yes. So the day before, check this out. The day before we leave to go to the Final Four, he gets caught stealing a pair of earphones at Walmart. So guess what replayed in my mind, fellas? Kings Island.
Poetry.
Kings Island.
Like this is me.
Yes.
Ain't God a great poet?
Oh,
Man,
great.
Yes,
so
ain't he a great poet?
Yes.
You know what? I chuckled when it happened, right? And I said, that's me right there. What a teachable moment this is. So, a lot of people in the community wanted me to condemn the kid. Like, and I'm going, how am I helping him if I condemn him?
Right.
Did they put it on the news?
They put it all on the news. They wanted to paint a bad picture of this kid like he was just the most terrible kid walking the earth,
man.
right? And I just thought, I said, you know what? I'm not about to on my kid.
Yeah.
Right? He's been the face of our program and a good one all year long. He's done everything I've asked him to do. But how can I be fair to him, but also let him take the education away from the situation?
Wow.
Right? And so I thought about it all that night, like, man, boy, this boy done did everything I've asked him to do. He made a mistake, right? We all make mistakes, right? I said, you know what? I ain't really worried about the mistake. I'm worried about the response to the mistake. Right? And so I called my team in and I said, hey, man, how y'all feel about, Jordan, man? They was like, man, coach, we
whole
got
team or
whole
just coaches?
Team.
Okay.
Whole team. I said, how y'all feel about Jordan? Oh, that's our dog, man. We should feel like he should play. I said, you know what? I agree with you, but I'm not going to play him. Everybody's face here.
Leading
scorer. Like, he's the City League Player of the Year almost.
We made it to the state.
Right? Yeah. So I said, but what I am going to do is place the onus on the rest of you. So they all look confused and puzzled. Oh, well, what you mean, coach? I said, because Jordan made a mistake, I'm not going to let him play, right? Because it's the right thing to do for him and in the eyes of the community, right? It's going to be the right thing to do that I set some level of punishment for him. Because if I did nothing, then they're going to say, well, what did he learn, right? I said, it's up to y'all to get him to the championship game so he can play.
Yeah.
And I looked at Joe and I said, can you get us there? He said, Coach, I got you. I got you. I'm going to get my boy there.
Yeah.
You know, and I knew from then on that we had that level of camaraderie in our team that, you know, it was almost like a storybook movie type situation. You know what I mean? That you should be watching, right?
One by and
Joe, man, that game, I put the ball in his hands, and he was determined to get Jordan Watson an opportunity to play on that court. I mean, just everything about the game was, Coach, don't worry about it. I got this, baby. And I remember, like, our kids, you know, just got really caught up in the moment at the beginning of the game. And they, you know, they made a real live run on us, and they had us down. They was beating us bad, right? Yeah. And they all came rushing to the bench, and they hollering, and they, you know, really uncharacteristic because we ain't been that way all year. You know, we've been a band of brothers all year. And they arguing amongst each other, and I sat down in the huddle, and I just started smiling, and I started laughing. And they was like, what's wrong, man? We losing, bro. What are you doing? Like, this ain't you. You're supposed to be in our face, rah, rah, rah.
Yeah.
I go, what is the problem, man?
Coach Hoskins is an intense coach.
Yes. I said, well, why are we arguing and stuff with each other, man? I said, what? This ain't us. What are y'all panicking for?
Yeah.
We Thurgood Marshall, bro. We done been down 18 to Dunbar and came back and won.
Right.
Yeah.
What's different about this? And when I smiled, I knew their level of apprehension would be shot down.
And got replaced with confidence.
Got replaced with confidence.
Yeah, it did.
Had I reacted differently, had I panicked, they would have panicked. But I knew what we built all year long. And so I was never panicked about the situation. I just said we needed to go through this, so we respected this game a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you knew that y'all wasn't playing y'all's best. You
We
knew y'all
wasn't playing our best.
Yeah, y'all wasn't hitting them with
Not even close.
with your stuff, right?
Not even close.
Right.
From that time out forward, them boys came out focused.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they was determined to give Jordan an opportunity to play. So I knew I could take my foot off the gas and let them do what they do because they were playing for him.
Right.
You know what I mean? So he had the opportunity. They understood that he carried us all year. Man, we got to get this dude the opportunity to play in a championship game. And I mean, you talk about the biggest cheerleader ever.
Yeah.
Oh man, the dude was over there with pom-poms and everything.
Yeah.
Like, bruh, get me a chance to play. Get me a chance to play. And they did that thing, man. Like Joe, man, the boy, man.
Man,
I put the ball in his hands. He went to work, bro.
end of the game, I think we probably tied or maybe down one or the two. Neff get the ball top, do a little move, get to the hole, miss it, catch
it on
it,
rebound.
put it right back in. We go up 2, and it was only like maybe they might have got another shot at the rim after that, but that was the final basket of the game, and we won and went on to
Against
the state
a solid
championship.
Toledo Rogers team. They was good.
Yeah.
They had 2 guards that was nice.
That
and
was
stroking.
a great game. But
Yeah,
I
bro.
think the major lesson is even though Coach didn't let Jordan play, they still won the game. And it turned out to be all right. He really looked good by doing that. He won in every way, man, on the discipline side.
No
That
doubt.
was major.
No doubt. Like, you know, if that would have came at the expense of a loss,
Yeah.
right? Could we be sitting here having a different conversation? Maybe we could. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I still don't think it would have been simply because the lesson didn't get lost in that.
Right.
That I'm a developer of young men first, right? Like the basketball was secondary for me, right? I need to be able to help you be successful in life first. Then we can talk about hooping.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's my commitment to you. And my definition of commitment is doing what I said I would do long after the mood I said it in is coming
Man,
on.
shout out Jordan, man. That's
Yeah,
the little
man.
bro,
Yeah, for
man.
sure.
That is legendary, man. So, after that season ends, did you go to your next season?
Yeah.
What's that like now? Because, you know, to be a young coach starting off, to have to face that type of scrutiny from, you know, like the press and stuff like that,
Yep.
what's it like now heading into the next season?
Well, the next season, you know, the bar had been set really high now.
Yeah.
Like that became the expectation. Like, you know, 2 stellar programs in our town. I told our kids, I said, you know, they was always talking about this rivalry, Dunbar, right?
Yep.
And I said, stop, man. Stop calling it a rivalry. They like, wow, coach, that's what everybody call it. I said, until you can beat them consistently, it ain't a rivalry.
Yeah.
And then that turned on the light bulb. They was like, yeah, we got to start beating them consistently. And to that point, nobody had done it. I mean, they were ruling stuff.
Man,
You know what I'm
don't
saying?
roll 'em.
Yeah. And I said, unless we change this, right, we're never going to be able to accomplish it. And once they bought into that, we started to beat them consistently. And so we became that alternative, that choice that everybody wanted to make. And so the marginal or borderline kid that Dunbar was getting, now all of a sudden, it was Thurgood, man. Thurgood. The next 3, 4, 5 recruiting classes all came.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so that established that pipeline that we was talking about. You know, had I stayed there,